Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Jax. Welcome back. Today, I am sort of celebrating what would be my grandfather's 93rd birthday. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away a year and a half ago, and we all miss him very dearly. He was a really big fan of nature and insects, and as a kid, he would collect different animals and try and preserve them. And, he was really interested in wildlife and nature. He was born in 1931. He survived the Blitz in London when the Germans were trying to take Britain down, or what was the expression? Make Britain fall on its knees or something like that. He remembers it all really vividly. He remembers the Stuka dive bombers coming down, or he did. And he was a really exceptional human being who I miss dearly and have been definitely made better for knowing him. And I basically wanted to, share some of the lessons and the ideas that my grandfather instilled in me, and, just kind of talk about him and remember him a little bit. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. If not, I will see you later. So yeah, my grandfather was 91 when he passed away, and he, up until, the moment he passed away, he was an incredibly able-bodied, drive himself to golf, play 18 holes of golf, no problem. Played better than a lot of the guys in their 70s that he played with. And, mentally was so incredibly sharp and constantly up to date with world's news, with what was going on, with economics and politics and all of this stuff. But he was also a really interesting human being. He was completely fine having a gay grandson. He didn't think anything was peculiar. He didn't treat me any differently. He thought that, the way Alan Turing, who was a famous British mathematician and early pioneer of computing, he was gay and treated very poorly after World War II. He thought the way that Alan Turing was treated after World War II was absolutely disgraceful and totally amoral. And I never feared coming out to him or expressing my opinions or my thoughts. Incredibly progressive for 1931, and just in general, a really amazing person. So a few of the big lessons that he taught me, probably the first one was just, the stewardship of nature. My grandfather was a farmer. He was a pig farmer and very much an outdoorsman, a sportsman, and a woodsman at heart. He absolutely loved being out in nature, walking in nature, and he really instilled sort of a passion for it even from a very young age. And I will remember that forever. And that was just a very special sort of thing that we would do. He got me into golf. I would golf with him. I think even before I could properly walk, like I could stand, he got a golf club in my hand, and we had some lovely memories there. And I think that appreciation for outdoors and nature and pursuits and recreation outdoors was really important. So that's definitely a big one that he instilled. Another one was like driven passion or focus. He was always incredibly driven and focused and passionate about everything that he did. He would jump in with both feet and work incredibly hard to achieve the goals that he wanted to. He decided to sort of risk everything and immigrate to Canada in middle age with my grandmother and their young children. And it absolutely paid off in huge ways. And it's the reason I'm here today. So he was comfortable taking risks, but he was also so incredibly focused and driven that, I think maybe he didn't know that success would follow him where he went, but I think it absolutely did. And he also, was the patriarch of an incredible family that I'm so blessed to be a part of. Our family, even today, now that both of my grandparents are gone, we are still incredibly close, and we love each other and we see each other all the time, even if half of us live in England and half of us live in Canada. So he was just like a very exceptional family man, a preserver of nature, a big advocate for, the preservation of the beautiful spaces that we have. Driven and focused. He absolutely instilled the idea of financial independence and having that strength and having that freedom, which is what it was in his view. Having that financial freedom is so important, and it opens up so many avenues and doors to success and to doing good in the world. Yeah, so just like a pretty special guy. That's really like, the world will not see his like again. And there's so many like fun and neat stories I could tell you about. But I think another thing I want to sort of, I don't know, instill is that in today's world, it is very common to dismiss your family or to go and find your found family, like choose people in your circle that you choose to be in your life because you don't identify with your family. And that's a real shame, and it's usually because the people in our families are not good for us and just can't be there, which again, it's a real tragedy. But I think we don't give enough credit to the people who got us to where we are in social media and in the world today in general. And there are so many parents, grandparents, great-grandparents who sacrificed so much in order for the next generation to have what they do. And I understand, like, there are many problems in our society today. There are many issues that, it is very debatable whether my generation is going to have it as good as the generation before me because of external problems and all kinds of things. But that doesn't mean that you cannot appreciate the struggles and the difficulties that the past generation went through in order to give us the life we have and give us the society we have. Because I know a lot of people love to bash on society and stuff, but the progress we have made in many areas, poverty, LGBT rights, civil rights, women's rights, many of those things have been on the backs of the people who have worked hard for it. And again, not appreciating that is kind of disrespectful, and it's not something that I'm interested in. And so I guess with this video, I wanted to just share a little bit about someone who worked hard and who I'm very grateful and indebted to for everything that I have. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I guess a few funny little anecdotes about my grandfather. At the age of 8 or 9 years old, he had a pet jackdaw. And if you don't know, a jackdaw is kind of like a crow. They live in England. They're very intelligent animals. They're part of the corvid family. And my grandfather told me that. He was big into the Latin names of animals and things like that. But he had this pet crow that, would bring him things and would wait for him when he got home from school and things like that. And he was very good friends with it until his younger brother was born. And then his mother told him that he had to get rid of that jackdaw, which he was very sad about. But he gave it to a friend who then took care of it and everything. So that was good. But he had strange pets and interests. He was a beekeeper. He was hugely into dogs and bred rabbits at a time, was an avid pheasant hunter. And there are a numerous amazing stories of his hard work and dedication and working overnight in a pig barn, 30 hours straight trying to solve an issue or a problem, and just incredible. So I want to say a very happy birthday to my grandfather. I hope each of you have someone in your life like this who really inspired who you are. This isn't to say that my grandmother was not the most amazing person on the planet, because she was. Oh my gosh, I could really gush about her for hours and hours and hours. But as it's his birthday today, I wanted to just share something like that and a little bit of remembrance for the tremendous figure he was and still is to all of us. So thank you very much for listening. I know this is a little bit of a different video than what I usually do, but I wanted to, make a bit of a fuss even though he hated that. He would not approve of someone making a fuss of him. There was not if it wasn't warranted, you know, best not. So yeah, happy birthday, and as always, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.